The Dark Knight is about to ask a couple of Titans a hard-hitting question.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
It's the greatest gladiator matchup in the history of the world. God versus Titans. Neon versus Knight. Son of Krypton versus King of Skull Island. Batman v Superman battles it out against Godzilla vs. Kong on Reel Rivalries. Let's not sugarcoat this. Godzilla vs. Kong has a script so stupid, Alien vs. Predator looks like Citizen Kane by comparison. On the other hand, Batman v Superman really wants you to take the concept of a dude dressed up as a bat fighting an alien very seriously. I would argue too seriously. These scripts may be a tad undercooked or overdramatic, but let's dive into the positives of each. Godzilla vs. Kong gives you exactly what you paid to see. Giant titans fighting to near death, tons of destruction, amazing scale, incredible visuals, and some truly impressive sound design. The humans are definitely downplayed too, with a much heavier focus on the main attractions. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, to use its full title for that one time only, nails a lot of things. Snack Snyder once again delivers eye candy with some of his trademark slow motion, crisp visuals, intense action, and some really cool superhero designs. A shirtless Bruce Wayne pulling a tire during a montage is peak Snyder goodness. The music is equally as epic, and thankfully it's Gregorian chant free. For now. There are those that consider BVS to be a master class in filmmaking, so any criticisms I launch at it will surely be perceived as ignorance. Hey, ignorant I understand. A futuristic Flash coming through a portal just as Bruce Wayne wakes up from a post-apocalyptic premonition thrown randomly in the middle of the movie is something I will never fully comprehend. The film also only features like 10 minutes of actual Batman fighting Superman, as opposed to Godzilla vs. Kong, which is like half the movie. Unfortunately, when these two behemoths aren't fighting, Millie Bobby Brown is seen road tripping around with her pals. Why? They will travel to different destinations, uncovering things that everyone else will find out about at the exact same time. I think it's pretty clear that no one really cared that much about the plot when writing this film. The technology, for example, has advanced like 1,000 years in between movies. Evil Company is controlling a Mechagodzilla via a Ghidorah skull. Not the brain, the skull. The humans are also transporting Kong all over the place with zero issues. How are they logistically even doing this? What is the protocol behind getting this guy in a massive net pulled by helicopters? How long does something like that take? BVS makes me scratch my head in other ways. Like, who thought it was interesting to follow Lois Lane on a bullet matching adventure? Or why does Master Detective Batman know virtually nothing about Superman? Did we really need to look at Lex Luthor's jar of urine? So we have a silly, nonsensical group of issues versus a brooding, joyless affair. I vote for the one that gives me more of the title's promise, and that's Godzilla vs. Kong. It's truly amazing how much viewers are willing to forgive as long as their movie lives up to the hype. In the case of Godzilla vs. Kong, that hype was built up entirely on two monsters fighting. And fight they do. We see these two duke it out in the middle of the ocean, destroying a fleet of ships with zero regard for the humans caught in their wake. Then there's Kong's travels to Hollow Earth, where he beats up a bunch of war bats and hellhawks. I don't know what scientist was in charge of naming these creatures, but bravo, nailed it. Speaking of bats, Superman is a damn beast in BVS. I feel like I botched that segue, but I'm gonna push through it. We see Supes as a godlike figure, saving people caught in storms, bringing down space shuttles, and taking Batmobile damage without losing a single hit point. The guy's a pro. Godzilla might be getting a little tired of the whole savior shtick, but Batman is just over it. Dude is rolling with machine guns, branding his victims, and just straight murdering guys. That warehouse scene is peak action perfection. It's perfection. Nothing after that really brings the same level of exceptional violence. When Batman and Superman finally square off, the match is entertaining, but very short-lived. Their team up with Wonder Woman has moments of greatness. But Batman has no place in this fight. He just looks ridiculous standing next to these overpowered pals with his little machine gun. I mean, what is he gonna do here? Unlike The Dark Knight, Kong really steps up his game in the final bout, buddying up for a tag team fight against Mechagodzilla. It's cartoonish mayhem at its finest. Yes, some of the human elements continue to show up and ruin the fun, but there's no use crying over spilled alcohol. Had BVS provided us with a couple of more warehouse-level fights, we might have a closer race, but I have to give it up for the Kings. Godzilla vs. Kong takes this round. Unfortunately, GVK has humans involved, instead of just telling this whole tale through the eyes of Kong. That said, he is still very much the protagonist here, with Godzilla being the looming threat in the distance. Madison Russell and her father Mark are back, baby! Calm down, I know, it's very exciting, but unfortunately Kyle Chandler only has about 5 seconds of screen time. I think they shot him during lunch breaks when he was on the set of something else, because he's just, I don't know why he's even here. I also have no idea why Millie Bobby Brown has so much screen time to do so little. None of the Skull Island fam show up, not even Brie Larson. Presumably because Kong is sexist. Her character would also be in her 80s, but still, probably the sexism. Don't worry though, we have a whole bunch of new characters to not care about. There's Apex Musk, Apex Musk's hot daughter, Scientist Bro, Generic Concerned Lady, Stranger Things, The College Years, and the only one anyone likes. By contrast, BVS has so many awesome characters, Lex Luthor had to make customized folders and icons for them all. We have the cameo by the Justice League. Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg show up, while Wonder Woman gets to step out of retirement to complete the Holy Trinity. Then there's Morpheus, Scar,
Why'd you say that name?
the Postman, Mrs. Incredible, the hotter version of Pam,
Oh, look! Oh, hey, no catfights, you two.
and we can't forget about Lex Luthor. I would say Jesse Eisenberg's performance here is equal to that of Jared Leto as the Joker in Suicide Squad. You could take from that what you will. Now for the main event. Godzilla is certainly large and angry. There's just not much going on upstairs this time. Kong is the more sympathetic and likable of the two. He also gets his ass handed to him on several occasions before finally throwing down the axe. No internet community, they don't hug it out because they found out their best friend's name is Mothra. It's more of a mutual understanding that keeps them from finishing their fight. Henry Cavill is a great Superman, and Ben Affleck is just fantastic in BVS. It's unfortunately the one and only time I can say that about him.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
Thanks, Joss Whedon. Then there's Doomsday and Mechagodzilla, both cool CG monsters that come and go with very little thought behind them. BVS has far more going for it outside of its two leads. It's gonna handily take this round. While I didn't mention the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman, that doesn't really change the outcome. Godzilla vs. Kong is loud, dumb, and the winner in this rivalry. It's a fast-paced, big-screen event that is unapologetically bananas. Little ape pun for you, you're welcome. It's the type of film you can watch once, leave it, and not have to get yelled at online for pointing out its many flaws. So that's my takeaway, and now I'd love to hear yours. Leave a comment with your winner, like the video if you had a good time, and I'll see you next week on another Reel Rivalries. And listen, this debate aside, I would love if they continued both of these franchises. They're so wacky at this point, and the wheels are fully off. Let's just see where this thing takes us. At the end of Godzilla vs. Kong, Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler are just wandering around Hong Kong. They spot each other in a matter of seconds. Apex could have saved themselves a lot of headache and just hired these two to find the Hollow Earth. The money saved on shipping a giant ape alone would be astronomical. Completely missed opportunity.